I just think that when you sit down with somebody and you talk to them one-on-one, either you fit or you don't. It's just like in the DJ business. We had a couple getting married, and I told them, I don't know that type of music. I don't know how to mix that type of music. There's no way for me to learn it that quick. And we're just not the right fit for you. And sometimes that's the way it has to go. But again, if we're talking about friction, what is the friction? And are you ready to be successful or are you not? Are you ready to put the time in that it takes? Are you ready to invest in it? It's a process, it's a commitment. And if you want to do it, you'll do it. And I think that's 90% of the people. If entrepreneurship and owning your own business or being an influencer, TikTok or whatever it is was easy, how many millionaires would we be having around us? And I don't want them to come on board just to pay me money to fail. I want them to come on board to succeed.
You're listening to Brainwork Framework, a business and marketing podcast brought to you by focus-biz.com.
Welcome back to another episode. With us today is the owner of Firewatch Business, Jason Schmitt. He's a CPA working 9 to 5, but side hustle as a DJ, mostly weddings, and has written a book, Finding Your Best Fit Side Hustle, and starting the Accountability Partner Program. So excited to have him on today. Jason, how you doing?
I am great. So thankful that you had me on. I appreciate it. A fellow wedding DJs. Nice to talk to.
It really is. Absolutely. So tell me more about your journey. What were you doing before that kind of led you into this journey about the CPA and side hustle, writing the book, and now wedding DJ as well?
I've had a crazy career, and it started out in McDonald's for me as a 16-year-old crew person flipping burgers. I moved up and am a proud Hamburger University graduate, and then college and that kind of thing. And then went and sat for the CPA exam, and that's where that started. I'm a CPA. I've been doing that for years, but I wanted a side hustle. I wanted that second revenue stream, and that's what I was looking for. And we went to 6 weddings in 1 year, and there was only one good DJ. And what I mean by good DJ, you can absolutely attest to this, is somebody that's playing the music people want to hear. And it may not be what I want to hear, but it's what this crowd wants to hear. And that's what you're playing, because you're playing to Nick Spinelli says it, and I've stole it from him. This is your Super Bowl. This is my Super Bowl. I got to make you have a good time as much as I can. And that's when we used to tailgate at the University of Alabama. And I had a setup up there where we played a lot of music. And we need to get in the DJ business. This is terrible down here. And that's what we've done. And we've been quite successful at it. It's been fun and it's been successful. I'm proud to say I'm a wedding DJ.
As you should be. It takes skill and effort and experience, and especially to be a good DJ. And it's sad that simply just by playing the music that the guests want to hear is that qualifier. You would think that would be the common sense no-brainer for many people.
And you would think that people would say, okay, well, I can play some music and people will be happy about it. And it does take skill and practice. I'm not going to say that anybody can be a DJ. I don't believe that by any stretch of the imagination, because there is such thing as beat matching. There is such thing as making sure it sounds good in transitions. And that's an art as well as a talent. That's what we did. We wanted that second line of income, and that's what we did.
Very nice. Now, are you balancing both, doing the full-time CPA, and are you technically full-time wedding DJ? I guess, is your calendar filled up completely, or are you looking to make a transition to just focus on one, or do you like having both as your revenue stream?
I like having both. I'm a controller for a company, 9 to 5, and then we don't allow ourselves to go over 26 to 30 weddings a year. That's what we'll do. Now, we do other events thrown in there, but weddings are a lot of work, especially if you're doing ceremony and the reception and the music and meeting with the bride and trying to get those things all matched together, what they want. And a lot of these brides and grooms don't know what they want. You got to help them down that journey too. But absolutely love it. Like, some of my favorite times is when you're on the beach. We have a completely battery powered rig. We go down there, set it up on the beach, have the ceremony, and that sun setting over the Gulf.
That's our view from the office. You can't beat that.
No, it's awesome. Love it.
I love it as well. But there is so much work that goes behind the scenes, the mixture of the creative art form that goes into it, kind of reading the room, having that emotional intelligence, but the back end work as well, the administrative, meeting with the couple, making sure the timelines are all coordinated with each other, because it's not just about having a great event, but if we're not coordinated together, we could look sloppy, and not because of our own lack of planning, but because the right questions weren't asked or other members aren't on the same page. We just want a seamless experience for our couples, and that's what we try to provide by putting in that work.
Absolutely. And one of the toughest things for me as a DJ is when the bride and groom have given you a playlist that they want, and this is what they want. And you automatically know as a DJ that it ain't going to work.
How do you handle that? Because it happens.
It absolutely happens. And I got in trouble because I was mixing their playlist. And we gave it to you in a specific order, and this is how we want it to go. And you should have just hired Spotify. But is this really what you want me to do? Or do you want me to read the room, which is my actual job, and put on music people are going to dance to and enjoy? And when you warn them in the meetings you have with them, more often than not, they come up to you and say, okay, you just need to take this over.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
dancing.
But you have to ask those questions because, yes, sometimes they're either very particular about how the fact that they want this custom music and how often or how it's set up. But is their real end goal having a full dance floor with the songs that people really enjoy listening and dancing to? Because if that's the case, we need to adjust and be able to from their playlist a little bit.
I don't know if it's happened for you, but 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton has been a banger this season. Has that been you?
Not recently. Maybe did it once or twice a couple of years ago, but there's certain songs that kind of come out again that you never would have expected.
For us this season, it's been 9 to 5. I don't know.
That is super cool. For us, it's been a little bit of Funky Town, or at least they're enjoying it when they hear it. And sometimes I'll do what I call a funky oldies playlist, your 50s and 60s and a little bit of 70s top hits. You have Diddy, you have Car Wash, just a nice mix. And I find that the older generations are really loving that as like a dinner or cocktail music, because it's something they can dance to a little bit, but maybe those songs wouldn't be perfect for the dance floor portion, but you may be able to incorporate a little bit of it. But that's the part of reading the room and seeing what type of guests you have and how are they responding to the certain songs that you've been playing already.
You're so right. I wonder if September will ever die.
I don't think it ever will. It's almost like my go-to opener now because it's always on the list. It is something that gets everyone to the dance floor, and it's a great, nice beginning song to kind of start the night out.
It is, totally is. Yes, 100%. We could talk about DJing all day.
But we should talk more about your book and accountability partner program, because this is kind of sharing your wisdom and experience of starting your own side hustle, and you want to share that wisdom with others. Tell me more about the purpose behind this and how it's helping people.
The first thing was I wanted to start a side hustle, and I determined it was going to be DJing, which I love music. I love that. That was an easy choice for me. A lot of people with side hustles don't have that easy of a choice. And I started looking for a book to help me through that process of starting my side hustle and and I really didn't find one that I enjoyed reading or that I thought was practical enough. I decided that I was going to write my own. And that's exactly what I did. I wrote my book as a practical guide on how to find a side hustle that you enjoy doing, and then putting it in place and then getting out there and selling it. And that's what I did with it, because I started a side hustle. I'm successful in my side hustle. And my side hustle in 2024, my daughter lives in Italy. I was able to go to Italy twice because of my side hustle. And I was able to pay for my wife's facelift with my side hustle. That's success. When you can do stuff like that, that's success, and not have to worry about all the money or it being on a credit card. Yeah, that's the one thing that I've really tried to do, is focus on that and helping people do that. And then a lot of people were coming to me, a lot, I wouldn't say a lot, but several people came to me and said, "What, this is something I want to do, but I want to take it a step further, and I want to escape my 9 to 5. I want to escape from starting as a side hustle and move it across the spectrum to where I'm out and on my own." And that's exactly what the accountability program is. That's what we're doing. We're taking 9 to 5ers who want to get out of it and moving them to a place where they can be on their own, make their own money. As long as you're working for somebody else, you don't have your own time. The time is not yours. You're working for somebody else. And eventually that's what's going to happen to me. I will move myself out of the 9 to 5 I'm currently in and into my own, which is part of why we're doing the accountability program in conjunction with the DJing, because that's just a way to get to that point, and helping them with their audience, helping them with their unique selling proposition, all the things that everybody knows how to do, but don't do them. And then we believe in tough love. We're going to be honest with you. We're going to throw you in there. We're going to tell you yay or nay. How come you did not do the 3 things you said you were going to do this week? I'm saying.
Sometimes we need that tough love to be accountable.
I think the number one reason people don't make their goals is because they don't set up the accountability part of it like they should.
And they just get too comfortable. And that's kind of the reason why they're stuck where they're at, because there's a comfort level with having a quote unquote consistent paycheck. But really, when you realize that you could be potentially fired at any time, or the raises and rising the ranks really aren't in your control, this feels more in your control. And I like that you didn't focus on become a DJ as your side hustle. It's more like DJing worked for me, but let's find it for you. There's going to be some sort of unique value that you can bring to other people that can allow you either time or financial freedom to give you whatever form of success that you want. For you, it would being able to visit your daughter in Italy twice, or your wife's facelift, but it's whatever the success is for you. And those are like, hey, that's my trophy. This is a great testament to everything I've built and what I've done.
Absolutely. And like you said, it is that process of getting it done and discovering what's best for you. I really believe that self-assessments really help us get there. There's 2 in my book. One is about entrepreneurship, to see if you're ready for entrepreneurship. And it's not saying you're going to be an entrepreneur or not. It's what you need to work on to make sure you can be an entrepreneur. The second thing is passion. What do I really like to do? And then the other thing that I'm taking my people through when they come on with me is we do Strength Finders 2.0. I think that's a great book to help you narrow down what your strengths are. And then also in that book, it tells you things that you could look into that you would be enjoying to do for a job.
Very nice. And I think most of us are trying to escape this 9 to 5.
Yes. And let me tell people this all the time. Your side hustle will eventually become a job. Don't think you're going to be just happy-go-lucky every day working your side hustle. That's not the way it works.
And it's not like a rotisserie chicken. You can't set it and forget it. It's not a passive income. You need to manage and actually work in it. And once you realize as an entrepreneur, not only how many hats you have to wear, but literally everything is on you. Before in your other position, you had a set of assigned tasks and other people would pick that up. Now for you, you have to handle the admin, the website, the inquiries, and either you handle it yourself or you have to pay someone else to do it. But I think for those who have a ambitious, willing to learn attitude, if you can just get in there, I think most of us can accomplish more things than we give ourselves credit for.
There's no doubt in my mind. If you put your mind to it and you tell yourself every day that this is what I'm going to do, and those small things, they don't have to be huge. They can be small things. And every week you accomplish that next thing, your confidence grows, your business grows, and you're going to be successful.
Absolutely. And I've seen some businesses who are so desperate. Maybe they're stuck in a position and that comes off as desperation and they focus too much on selling instead of serving. And serving takes a lot of effort and energy, a short-term investment, hoping for a long-term gain. Like with entrepreneurship, we need to be ready to just dig our heels in and be in it for the long haul. How long should people be okay with working on their side hustle and building it up to know whether it's working or it's not for them?
These are 2 tests that I think are important that we focus on. And you can decide which one you want to do. Is it 10 sales in 90 days or is it $1,000 in 90 days? If you can do one of those 2 things, you'll start learning what worked and what didn't work. Not saying your product is bad or good, but you got to refine it. Maybe it's too broad of a niche, whatever it may be. But in those 90 days, if you really work it and you do the plan, we'll be able to see where we need to work on to make it a real side hustle and a real business. No doubt.
Absolutely. For those who are kind of just starting out or they're struggling to get those first couple and few clients of theirs, has there been a strategy that has worked best for them? Because that insight from the customer, the few projects you work on, that is that next launching point. That's the foundation. How do we even get started? Should people pay for ads, knock on doors? Should they go networking? What works well for them?
Networking, number 1. That's the first thing I do. But the second thing, that's not true. That's the second thing I do. The first thing I do is I would go to people I know that may need this product, that are friends or want to see you succeed. Some people don't want to see you succeed. Some people don't, but a lot of people do. Go to them, explain to your idea and say, would you be willing to pay money for this? And they may say no, they may say yes. If they say no, you say, do you know anybody that has this problem that I'm trying to solve that might pay for it? Let me talk to them. That's where, you
Number
start with your
one,
gut.
it's all important. That product validation piece, how many people will spend time either maybe building up their equipment for DJ services, or they're building a new product or a service and they're building this content and the strategy around it, and they take months and even years before they even validate the product. I'm so thankful that you say you need to ask people, would you pay me money for this? And that can give you that insight.
And they'll help you refine your product. I mean, when I started in the DJ business, I bought 2 top speakers and the $200 Pioneer thing, and then bought a Serato plan. And that's all I had invested. And now it's grown, obviously, because I want better equipment and better microphones and then that kind of stuff. Because as DJs, we geek out on equipment way too much.
There's always something new coming down the line that we're like, ooh, it's a shiny object. Do I need that?
Yes.
But I think that stresses the importance of it doesn't take a huge budget to start out. You can start more budget friendly. You just charge your prices accordingly and build off of that. I feel it's a great starting point. You don't have to become the biggest company. You can be the solo operator, make a small investment, and then reinvest as the product validates itself. Now, when you've built this accountability partner program, what does this look like? Is this like a Facebook community, a Slack or Discord group that you bring people, or is this kind of like a scheduled coordinated meeting?
One-on-ones.
Nice.
And we're going to start out from the beginning and move it through. We have the accountability program actually goes over a longer period of time, but we do have the 90-day fire starter, which is 90 days. You'll get your target audience, you'll get your USP, your unique selling position. We'll start refining your product down. We'll be working on those sales for those 90 days, whether it's $1,000 or 10 sales, whichever way you decide. I don't care. We're going to do it. And then we'll see after that 90 days how well you've done. And I guarantee you, I've seen it. We have success with that. Not everybody, because a lot of people don't do what they're supposed to do. But a lot of people, if you really got that urge and you got that fire in you and you're ready to go, I love to see it. And you can spot it a mile away. I've had a couple of clients come to me and say, we're ready to start. And you start asking them questions and they're not ready to start. I send them a sheet, say, listen, don't pay me. Do all this on your own and see if you really want to do it. Because I'm not here to take people's money. I'm here to help people get successful. That's it.
Thank you so much for saying that, because oftentimes there's this desperation to just want to get the sale, and hey, if they're willing to buy and give me money, might as well. But if it's not in their best interest, if it's just not the right fit, I feel like that could hurt both parties in the long run. You're creating value and giving them this roadmap to start and say, this is the test drive for you. See if you like this. And then after that, tell me more once you've hit that point. But tell me more about some of the people that you worked with who have stayed dedicated and ambitious, and what industry were they in? And can you tell us more about the stories of them?
Yes. One is a continuing story as we speak right now. He wants to open up a bar. Everybody in their right mind says you're stupid to open up a bar, but that's his goal. That's what he wants. And we started off with him doing the things in bars. His side hustle is bartending. That's what he's doing. He's been a bar back. He's done everything that you can imagine in the bar moving up. And the bar he works at, it just so happens that he's gotten more and more responsibility. And then that's what we're looking for, right? That's your side hustle. You're moving to learn more and more about the business you want to go into. And as we're doing, that's a certain set of time. And we're on the tail end of that now, right? He's gotten enough experience now that he can go run a bar if he wanted to. We're discussing whether that's the next step for him or not. But the one step we are working on is investors. And then that's the people, how am I going to find investors? You just got to be where these investors are. That's what you got to do. You got to be where they are. And that takes research. He's successful so far and he's got the fire. Now we got to find a place for him to settle and open his business. And that's where we're at now. He needs some money. We're going to get him some money. We're going to get him in a bar somewhere. And he already has the design and how the theme he wants for his bar. He's already got it. And he's thought about this as we work through this process so much that he's just ready. It's so cool to see. But we'll find a couple of doctors who want to put some money in.
People with money are always looking for entrepreneurs. That there's angel investors out there. They want to make their money start working for them. They're looking to invest in the right people. And just like you said, what you shared with that person who wants to open the bar, it's a part of the journey. It's like you're never going to go from 0 to 100 in a month. This is all a part of the process. And the more time you take just makes you more certain and confident in the direction that you're heading. You don't want to make these rash emotional decisions. I think the more we can take a step back and think a little bit, we can be more rational in our decision making.
100%. And he'll do fine because he has that passion. And I'll tell you another story real quick as a warning story that this guy came to me. He's going to buy into a franchise. This is his idea. He's going to buy the franchise and get it open. And I do a back of the hand budget. We do an upside down budget. How much money do you want to make at the end of the month? Take out your taxes. This is your net. This is what you got to make. And then let's go backwards and see how much revenue you have to have, how many people you got to have buy your product, that kind of thing. And this was a kind of a weird kind of gym net, which is always another bad deal. And we sat down there and I'm saying, without any churn, he had to add 15 to 20 people a month without any churn. You're going to have churn. For his goal to get 6 months to replace his salary, we had to have 15, 20 people, not a month, a day, coming in with no churn. And it made no sense. And thank God he did not do it. But again, those are the things that some people just get into and they throw money at it and thinking, this is going to be great. And they haven't really thought about it. And we go back to the basics. You go back to the fundamentals, just like on football or basketball or baseball. You go to the fundamentals and you decide from ground zero to grow it up. You got to know your audience. You got to know what you're offering, what makes you different. You got to know all those things, and you got to know them backwards and forwards.
Absolutely. And that's why we rely on people like you who have been in business before and have been through all that experience to help guide and direct people. What questions should I be asking? What should I be thinking about? Is this a good idea or not? And that's your opportunity to say, hey, I'm going to share my wisdom and experience with you to help get you further along and prevent you from making a lot of those mistakes.
Absolutely. And to talk to me doesn't cost anything. You want my booking link is on every social media I got. And it won't cost you a dime. Just book it and let's talk. I'm here to help. I want people to be successful. That is the whole thing. And
Speaking of links, where can people find you online and get connected with you?
Absolutely. Firewatchbusiness.net is the business side of my business. Firewatchbusiness.net. On YouTube at Firewatch Business. We put out 2 videos every week. Enjoy doing that a lot. Have a lot of great interviews with people like you and others, and just a lot of fun doing that. And my link to my booking is in all those videos. They're on my socials. 30 minutes. We can talk about it. And you'll definitely get something out of the call. And you may say, oh, I got a lot more homework to do. And that's fine too.
Absolutely. And we'll have those links available down in the show notes and the description for everybody. And something that you are demonstrating here, you are someone who walks the walk, not just talks the talk, is that easy next step to the sale. How important is removing the friction in the buyer's journey with how you work with businesses? Because you're mentioning, hey, it's easy to sign up. It's easy to sign up. Clear next steps. This is what people like to see. How do you like to work that friction and remove obstacles within the buyer's journey when you're helping these businesses?
Never thought of it that way. I just think that when you sit down with somebody and you talk to them one-on-one, either you fit or you don't. It's just like in the DJ business. We had a couple getting married, and I told them, I don't know that type of music. I don't know how to mix that type of music. There's no way for me to learn it that quick. And we're just not the right fit for you. And sometimes that's the way it has to go. But again, if we're talking about friction, what is the friction? And are you ready to be successful or are you not? Are you ready to put the time in that it takes? Are you ready to invest in it? It's a process. It's a commitment. And if you want to do it, you'll do it. And I think that's 90% of the people. If entrepreneurship and owning your own business or being an influencer or TikTok or whatever it is was easy, how many millionaires would we be having around us? And I don't want them to come on board just to pay me money to fail. I want them to come on board to succeed.
Absolutely.
I think that gets rid of the friction.
Yes, absolutely. And I think, as you described before, when you're dialing in the audience and the offer and just the messaging and that unique selling proposition, that kind of just clears the way for this is who I am, what I offer, and why people should pick me. And that right there in itself can remove so much friction and obstacles when people are deciding, okay, is this DJ going to be the right fit for me? They rely on your experience as well, but they're trusting you as an industry expert, someone who's been through it before, both on DJ side, on the business side. It's like, help direct me so I don't make bad decisions, so I can be successful just like you as well.
And let me tell you something. I failed. There's businesses that I failed. We opened up a restaurant. I failed. And I learned a lot from it. I just want to make sure other people don't have to do what I did. I moved to Key West, Florida, opened up a t-shirt shop. I failed. And I can tell you exactly why I failed. And I'm not going to let my clients, my friends who come to me for help do the same stupid stuff I did.
And you were able to pick back up and use that as a learning experience for your next business venture.
I always say this, and we say it all the time. You never fail. It's just feedback. It's true.
Absolutely. No, I totally agree. Now, we appreciate you sharing the time with us, but is there anything that I haven't asked yet that maybe you want to share some advice with fellow entrepreneurs out there?
Absolutely. It's going to take twice as long as you think it's going to take.
That is some good advice. You really have to dig your heels in and be ready for everything that's going to be thrown at you, because it's going to be a process, and that time management is going to go by the wayside here if you're not careful.
And you'll be doing things that are productive, but not moving the needle to get you where you need to be. That's another thing that you got to focus on. And the last thing I'll say is that motivation will fizzle, but discipline will boom. If you stay disciplined, you're going to have the boom. The motivation is going to fizzle out, but the discipline is the boom.
I need to get some of your phrases on a daily motivational calendar or something. I want to open it up and just find another great Jason quote to inspire me through the day.
There you go. You should put that out.
Hopefully for your next book, volume 2, you can do 365 affirmations you can use to motivate yourself in business. Jason, thank you again for coming on to our show and sharing your tips and tricks with us. The experience, the side hustle, the wedding DJ, all of it, some great experience and great feedback from everything you've shared with us today. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much. And I hope you have a wonderful wedding season.
Thank you. You as well. Hope you stay sane and get as much rest as you can handling the crazy wedding season.
I love it. I love it. Wouldn't have it any other. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jason.